What is up, Dallas Cowboys fans? Any Tim here with another Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz on the DSP Podcast Network YouTube channel. Also over at the CowboysSI.com Cowboys page, the Sports Illustrated Fan Nation venue for the Dallas Cowboys. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Please click that like button if you're on the YouTube video. Please click the subscribe button. We like to have all the subscribers in here for all of these things. Click the bell if you want to get notifications for these great videos, because you'll just have to trust me, they are great. I want to talk a little bit about the great CeeDee Lamb with you briefly. He was a big part. If you guys got to watch the absolute dismantling of the Atlanta Falcons that the Cowboys performed yesterday at AT&T Stadium. It was a ridiculous game if you're a Falcons fan. And we have to imagine the Falcons fans feel much the same way Cowboys fans felt after the Broncos game. But CeeDee Lamb was a big part of that. Again, the Cowboys just desperate to forget the Broncos game from a week before and show a national audience that that was the exception, not the rule for the Cowboys. But instead, yesterday was the rule for the Cowboys. As again, you'll know, CeeDee Lamb had a big part of that. Second play of the game, took that quick wide receiver screen 37 yards down the sideline from Dak Prescott. Just 6 plays later, of course, he caught the touchdown pass for the Cowboys' 7-0 lead, and they never, ever looked back. Again, just before halftime, he had another touchdown pass, that little toe dragger, that really gave the Cowboys the 28-3 margin, and we knew at that point already that it was out of reach. We knew with Michael Gallup coming back from the calf injury that CeeDee Lamb's numbers might go down, but they really didn't. He finished with 6 catches, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns, and again, was a big part of the offense as they started the game fast and hard with CeeDee Lamb through the air. So, the NFL put out on Twitter something that was erroneous. We have the great Richie Witt over at CowboysSI.com to thank for this catch. And also, all of the stats and information I'm giving you here in this video came from Richie Witt and his article over at CowboysSI.com. Thanks, Richie. You guys make sure you get over there and check this out. But the NFL tweeted out the first Dallas Cowboys wide receiver with 1,500 yards receiving and 10-plus receiving touchdowns in his first 25 career games. CeeDee Lamb. Well, as Richie was quick to point out, that is not accurate. It is not correct. It's not even close. So I don't know where the NFL gets their stats from, if it's from Elias, if they have their own people. I'm not real sure, but this tweet wasn't even close. And as Richie points out over CowboysSI.com, Amari Cooper had more catches, more yards, and more touchdowns than Lamb in his first 25 games as a Cowboy. But if the league's going to be talking about the first 25 games as just a Cowboy and in the NFL, so a rookie, they're still wrong, because it's still not CeeDee Lamb. Just look up Bob Hayes. Some of you old-timers like me will remember Bullet Bob Hayes, the fastest man in the league, the original number 22. In his first 25 NFL games, all as a Cowboy, Bob Hayes had 2,094 yards and 24 touchdowns. That's 100 catches. 100 catches, 2,092 yards, and 24 touchdowns. Now let's compare that to CeeDee Lamb. 121 catches, 1,661 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Amari Cooper in that time, his first 25 games, again, not in the NFL, because the first, 50-plus so games he played as a Raider. But Cooper's first 25 games as a Cowboy, 132 catches, 1,914 yards, 14 touchdowns. He had more catches, more yards, more touchdowns than does CeeDee Lamb. So either way, the NFL network was wrong. The NFL, not the NFL network. This came from the NFL. The NFL was wrong, and some intern somewhere probably needs to be fired for that. But what does this mean for CeeDee Lamb? Does this mean he's going to be the third greatest in the history of the Cowboys? Is he going to move up to be the first greatest? Let's look at some other Cowboys wide receivers of note and see where they came in their first 25 games. Dez Bryant, who I'm not a big fan of, but a lot of you guys out there are. 96 catches, 1,357 yards, and 15 touchdowns for Dez Bryant in his first 25 games as a Cowboy, which also were his first 25 games in the NFL. Drew Pearson comes in 5th on the list. 72 catches, 1,255 yards, 3 touchdowns. Michael Irvin, maybe my favorite wide receiver as a Cowboy. It'd be a tough 1 and 2 between Drew Pearson and Michael Irvin for me. 66 catches, 1,203 yards, and 8 touchdowns in his first 25 games as a Cowboy. So if you want to rank it out, here's how it goes. Bob Hayes 1, Amari Cooper 2, CeeDee Lamb 3, Dez Bryant 4, Drew Pearson 5, Michael Irvin 6. Jason Witten and Tony Hill round out the top 8 there. Witten with 92 catches, 997 yards, 6 touchdowns. Tony Hill coming in at 34 catches, 585 yards, 5 touchdowns. And then from there, a bunch of spares. Mike Sherrard's probably somewhere on there, if you remember that name. So, again, not to knock CeeDee Lamb, but the NFL was wrong with that tweet. But he is, better than Dez Bryant, Drew Pearson, and Michael Irvin, and Jason Witten. That's pretty good. Those are pretty good numbers. And we've seen him play from everywhere on the field. We saw in the game against the Falcons, he's not afraid to go from the slot and run across the field. He'll do pretty much anything you ask him to do. Now, as he gets a little bit older, that may not be the case. But at least for now, his extremely ridiculous pace to start his career is making national media take note of it. It's turning heads nationally, and it should. And he's going to be due a huge contract. The Cowboys are going to want to keep him. And that's probably the reason why Michael Gallup will leave the Cowboys organization after this season, either if it's hopefully sooner than later, but because, the trade deadline passed and they decided to keep him, and I'm sure they want to keep him for a Super Bowl run this year. Not to say Michael Gallup's not, valuable to the club. Certainly he is. He contributed great on, I believe he had 3 catches on Sunday against the Falcons. But, yeah, CeeDee Lamb is going to be your target to keep, which means that Michael Gallup will probably be gone at the end of the season in free agency just because the Cowboys won't be able to pay him what he deserves and what another team will pay him. And we'll see how his career trajectory goes. I don't think he's a number 1 receiver, but we'll see. Look what happened to Alvin Harper when he went to the Bucs as a number 1 receiver. He sort of disappeared off the planet. So, again, though, this video is about CeeDee Lamb. What a great start he's had. What a great Cowboy he's been. He has certainly lived up to that number 88 that he was given by Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, whether he wanted it or not. He's wearing it, and he's doing it right. I'm IndyCar Tim. Again, make sure you click like, subscribe on the video below, on the button below. We appreciate you tuning in. The DSP Media Podcast Network family of shows welcomes you to the channel. Also, CowboysSI.com. Thanks again to Richie Witt for the article, for the stats, for the impetus of this video. I'm IndyCar Tim. We'll be back with another one maybe tomorrow. Until then, we'll see you.